So an incredibly diverse range of projects, all expanding on the theme of data and technology. So what are some of your thoughts in terms of some things that were really striking about some of the projects?
Are we on a timer too?
Yes.
So, you know, probably being from the world of philanthropy, we think a lot about the theory of change associated with different objectives and different projects. And so the question, the burning question I really would want to sit down with each potential applicant and talk about is, what problem are you solving? And so how is this going to make the world a better place? And I think in some cases, maybe there was less question about that than others, but I'm curious about how these are projects that really are going to not only make our world a better place, but do it for people who are in less fortunate positions than a lot of the people in this room.
Yeah, I mean, I thought one of the things that was, I think, most interesting in some of the projects is the potential for them to disperse into other avenues or other platforms, so technologies or program that had applicability to other scales or other places. I thought was really interesting, and a lot of them are really at their beginning states, so I think they have a lot of other uses and potential, which I thought was great. I mean, it's going to be a hard choice, I think, the diversity of them and also the potential of them.
Well, and also, I found the discussion really interesting in terms of, because it was kind of pointing to future applications that might be possible. Your comment about it being delightfully polemical was great, and I think infrastructure rage is something that more people should have. And so I was wondering if you wanted to comment about that at all.
Well, I do think what's interesting, or the potential of a lot of projects in this category as a whole, is successfully connecting individual to sort of larger abstract systems and trying to, the back and forth impact loop between our behaviors and these sort of larger systems. And I think that these projects and many, many others who are trying to do things like this, I hope that's an area that they go, and the more successful they become, the more they'll be able to break down these systems or make them clear in a way that actually has the potential to change, not just to sort of, make you think a few thoughts that day, but to really connect huge, huge, pressing social, economic challenges that we have that we can't escape. We have to focus on. And so to push harder and to be more aggressive and actually to bring a little anger to the project.
Yeah, excellent, thank you. Joel, what are some of your thoughts?
I think many of the projects shared to one extent or another an expressed desire to proactively influence behavioral change. And that's a very complex undertaking, of course, for a variety of reasons, but having a very deep, thoughtful understanding of what kinds of outcomes would be demonstrable and create an evidence path for that, in which there could be measurements and metrics that would help us better understand how these designs, if you will, are systemically making those sorts of changes. We make a lot of assumptions about what one thing can do or what it can't do, but it's more complicated than that, I think.
I guess to respond to that, one question though is that I absolutely understand the importance of metrics and measurable and demonstrable results, especially when it comes to funding. But I think also just all the feedback on how this project could be used going forward, that I think one challenge is that sometimes that can eliminate the idea, and that all these projects can feed off another and build on one another. And if someone would kind of like to respond to the importance of just generating ideas that sometimes just need to find a home and a use, and how those projects might contribute to that general providing fodder for all these things that need to happen in the world.
True, but creating a narrative around the value proposition that one is trying to convince their community to continue to invest in whatever way, whether it's monetarily or just in terms of participation, is something that has to be taken into consideration in terms of the proposed ideas.
I would say that I'm really happy and really thankful that also this is a stage to actually talk to decision makers, and this is a platform for getting these great ideas out. But a holistic view on these projects that all require some form of infrastructure, be Wi-Fi, be sensors, be networking, and also the fact that actually some of these great ideas pop out of the need of having, defunct infrastructure, and basically these are also signs of austerity that one needs to also call about the bottom line, whether kind of the model of individually proposed projects that then need that kind of traction to become publicly funded, so that these LED lights are everywhere and they have network, and they are mesh network, and there are all these things when you go travel. I think this is something that needs to be said in those kind of contexts as well. There's projects that are depending on infrastructure. We do these things together, and once we start cutting taxes and making those things permanent, we live off these ideas, but the traction comes from real power of real funding for making these things real.
Excellent point. Any other parting comments or thoughts?
Well, I would offer my, am I on? I would offer my congratulations to everyone who participated in this, because I think there's been a tremendous amount of brilliance and hard work that's gone into everything that's been presented. And I would also encourage all of the presenters today who are brilliant and have done this hard work to get involved even more deeply in their communities, and even more deeply in cross-sector partnerships where they can apply this brilliance to a number of different problems. Because if they can take what I think we saw today and apply it to some of the other issues that we have and the challenges that we have in current society, I think we'll be a lot better off.
Excellent. Thank you, Helen, and thank you to all of you for participating and for your really excellent insights and feedback and comments and questions. A warm round of applause to our jurors.